Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zhongkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dubdan Darshi. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the meditative Homa today, Golden Mother of the primordial Jetpan. Sumu Danzan Kacho Dubdan Siddhi Dubdan Karma. All Dhamma masters, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma instructors, Dhamma tutors, temple and center directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do? I would like to announce for next Sunday, January 26th, at 3 p.m. That would be Maitreya Homa fire offering ceremony. The mudra is Dharma teaching mudra. Oh no, the turning Dharma wheel mudra, outer and inner. Turning the Dharma wheel, the mantra. Maitreya Bodhisattva was prophesied to become Maitreya Buddha. That's why sometimes we refer to him as Maitreya Buddha. Maitreya is in the inner court of Tushita heaven. Maitreya teaches consciousness only, or Yogacara. He transmitted to Asanga and Vasubandhu. So there are many treatises on the Yogacara. He's a very famous great bodhisattva. When the Buddha was alive, he prophesied that Maitreya Buddha is the future Buddha. That's why there were two different addresses, Maitreya Bodhisattva or Maitreya Buddha. One time, he was reincarnated as the monk with the cloth bag. So his appearance in Tibetan Buddhism looks like a typical bodhisattva, very dignified. But in China, he's with a big belly and carrying a big cloth bag. In Taichung, Taiwan, Baojie Temple, there is a huge Maitreya Bodhisattva statue. Today we perform Golden Mother's Homa. I have said it, without Golden Mother, there will not be Grandmaster Lu. Without Grandmaster Lu, there would not be True Buddha School. So True Buddha School's Golden Mother is in the form of a youthful celestial maiden. It is quite different from the typical Golden Mother or from the Tzu Hui Tang Temple, Golden Mother's Temple in Taiwan. Because the Golden Mother in the youthful celestial maiden is the most beautiful and the most youthful. And that's the unique characteristic of Golden Mother at the True Buddha School. Generally, Golden Mother is middle age or old age, but our Golden Mother is very young and youthful, very beautiful, good looking. So this Golden Mother is on the Homa altar, Thangka, and this Golden Mother enshrined right in front of me here is in the celestial maiden form. And her eyes are filled with compassion. The weather today is quite cold. Although it's sunny, but the sun is lying. If you go outside, you would know how cold it is. And there are ice at night. The freezing point in Seattle is -3 degrees Celsius. Right? Below 3 or 4 degrees Celsius. It's even colder in the central areas and the East Coast. It's below 13 degrees Celsius. The little pond in the front yard of my house is frozen already, and also on the roof. My latest book, number 305, the title is The Freezing Point in Seattle, or of Seattle. On the surface, the temperature in Seattle is freezing point, but the hearts of spiritual cultivators are very hot. Why is our heart hot? Because seeing other people die, our heart is filled with heat. It's not because of them, but thinking that it would be my turn soon. Seeing other people died, my heart is filled with heat. It's not the warmth for others, but thinking that it would be my turn soon. That's why I often mentioned recently that our lives are like candles amidst the wind. And wealth and nobility are just like clouds in the sky. Romantic love is like the lightning. And fame and prestige is just like bubbles, very colorful but disappeared instantly. Human life is really illusory, devoid, empty of substance. That's why we want to be diligent in our spiritual cultivation. Every day we should make progress. Once a day we practice the Dharma because we don't know when impermanence will hit us. Impermanence comes swiftly. It comes suddenly. In the future, the best place is to go back to the primordial jet pond fairyland, or returning to the Sukhavati, or all the Buddha verses of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, all the pure lands of all the Bodhisattvas, and the pure lands of all the Buddhas. Returning there is the best place. And ultimately becoming a Buddha. This is the most important. Otherwise, staying in the Saha world is meaningless. Like what we talked about last night, empty, with nothing left, without any phenomena or appearance. The phenomena appearance keep changing. So action, even when you act or do something, at the end it's nothing. And no arising or no beginning. So most importantly is we want to transcend our life and death, and that's called non-arising or no beginning. When there is no beginning, there would be no ending. Without birth, there would not be any death. When there is birth, there would be death. When there is a beginning, there must be an ending. So we need to cultivate so we can transcend birth and death, so that we don't have to experience birth and death. No birth and no death. Every one of us now is in physical body or nirmana kaya, and we need to cultivate until we reach sambhoga kaya, and then cultivate again until we reach dharma kaya or dharma bodies, and lastly the true body or true kaya. The true bodies, that's the bodies of the dharma nature. That's called the true bodies. That's Buddhahood. That's very serious talking about that. Now let's talk about something light. Xiaoming is having a date with the girlfriend. And Xiaoming was thinking, oh no, I want to fart. Oh no. No, on a date with a girlfriend, I can't fart. I have to hold it. Everyone had this experience at the beginning of dating. You can't fart. But after they got married, Xiaoming told the wife, let me give you something nice. And the wife asked, what?
那个时候就无所谓了。
At such time, it doesn't matter
有
anymore.
一间精神病院，
There is a psychiatric ward,
精神医院的护士看到，
and the mental patient wrote a letter, and the nurse saw that and was curious and asked him, "What are you writing the letter for?"
我是
And the patient
写给
said,
我自己呀。
"For myself."
护士讲，那
Oh,
你写什
and the
么？
nurse said, "What are you writing?"
病人讲，
And the patient
是
said,
神经病啊，
"Are you
我
mad?
怎么知道？
I haven't received the letter, so how would I know?"
哎，昨天去精神病院里面做义工回来，
Yesterday, I went to the
就想买
psychiatric
点肉，
hospital
最后发觉
to volunteer, and then I passed by a grocery, wanted to buy some meat, and I found I didn't have enough money.
医院出来，
And then I told the boss, I just came out from the psychiatric ward. I was in a rush, so I didn't bring enough
不
money.
能。老板上下，
Can you please?
没事。
And the boss looked up and down
那我
and
就
said,
送你吃的。
"Oh, no problem. If you want
那时候心里就软软，心想
something, give you something to eat." And I felt warm
拿了
and felt that, oh, there are nice people, still there are nice people around. And after a few steps,
精神病患，
and so the boss said
没得赔的。
that if I hit a mentally ill patient, that I don't get reimbursed, so might as well just
义
give.
工，
Actually, he was volunteering at the hospital, not the patient.
这个小明的爸爸路过小明的房间，听见
Xiaoming's dad passed by Xiaoming's room and heard him on the phone with his girlfriend.
如
The
果
girlfriend asked,
500万，
"If you
小明回答
won 5 million,
20万，
what would you do?"
凑
And Xiaoming said,
520
"I would add
送给你，
200,000. Oh, this is Chinese is better. 10,000. And then I would give you 520,
小明的老
which is in
婆
Chinese, I love you."
听到了，小明的老婆听到这个
And then
讲话，
the mom heard that and told the husband,
没想到吹牛也会遗传。
wow, it turned out that
用
boasting
招宝骗到手，
boasting is a genetic, because you cheated me this way back then.
妻子问先生：“你
The
那
wife asked the
写完
husband,
了吗？”先生讲：“ 准备再修改一下。
the other day was the conversation done.
主角
Yeah, I just wanted to change a little
是
bit.
很怕他的太太，
And the wife asked, "So your male character is afraid of his wife?"
他对太太
The novel, is it
错误
done?
的行为，
I just finished, but I need to change
进
something.
行面对面的批
And the
判
husband
斗
said,
争，
"No, about the wrong mindset, then they give constructive criticism." And the wife said,
没
"Do
有，
you have real experience?"
我写的是科幻小说，
And then the husband said, "No, because it's fiction."
幻想。好，我们进入主题了。
Now we'll get to the main subject.
马来西亚
Q&A question from Malaysia 莲花之行
师尊呐，
Grandmaster.
齐天大圣孙悟空，
The Monkey
《西
King
游记》的小
Sun
说里
Wukong
的人物，
is just a fictional character from the
还
novel
有人把他
Journey
当
to the
神明
West.
祭拜，
But why then do some people in the community still worship him as a god or deity?
小说人，
The Monkey King is a fictional character.
有《西游记》嘛，啊，
Journey to the
上
West.
战
There was the monk, Tang, Sanzang,
有猪八戒，
Monkey King, the monk, Sao Jing, the precept
那个
pig,
龙马，
and then the horse.
武承恩写的
That was written by Wu Cheng'en,
《西游记》，
very famous in China.
孙悟空。我简单回答你，
My simple answer is,
你只要拿一个泥土做一个人像，
if you take some mud and make a form of a human,
然后你拿到
and
那个
then
旷野的地方啊，
and then you brought it to a
你
open
那个泥土的木
open remote place,
你雕
brought some incense,
来的泥土拜一拜，拜一拜，
and then you keep worshipping, praying and praying to that mud-made human form.
说不定那个泥土
Let me tell
里面
you
的神就附在你上面，你就会开始起鸡。
that perhaps the deity inside that mud would come to your body and you start to
怎
have
么会这样？
some experiences. Why is that?
那是精神呐、啊！
That's a matter of
你
the
把这个泥
spirit.
土雕出来的东西当成
So if you sculpt something and you treat it as a deity
你精
and
神记住
worship
那个
and
泥土
pray to it, and then you place your spirit on that mud, then there would be some spirit coming to attach to it.
它就能够会有灵气，会有灵气。
Then it would become, it would have some
我
spiritual
想是这个
energy
样子
in it. So Buddhist statues are in the same
它
way.
是你精神上的一种寄托。
So there are your spiritual reliance. So when you invoke them, they would come.
青蛙神，你们玩过没有？
When we were a kid, we played
谈话
this like a frog god in
是
Taiwanese.
他行000，请你8月15来上行，就是念这一句而已哦。
So you just chant
青
this
蛙神000，
like a frog
8月15
spirit.
来上行。
We inviting you to appear
小孩子蹲下来
like
当
little
青蛙
kids.
几个小孩子
So
蹲下来当
a few kids would pretend to be frogs,
然后那个其他的小孩子拿着香，
and then another kid holding the incense
就一直念，一直念，一直念，
and kept repeating the chant,
小孩子就
invoking the frog
马上的砰砰砰砰砰砰
spirit,
到处跳。
and then the little kids become
但
frogs
是
jumping around.
不要在你的昊天处的
But never
阳台上面，
do that at the rooftop.
这个念这一句“青蛙行000，请你8月15来上行
So the frog spirit please appear ”，
从这
on the 15 of the 8th month,
将会互相
because otherwise when you jump, you would jump off the roof, because they would enter your bodies, so you would become a medium.
你不相信，有很简单啊，有人
It would
这里有
happen.
铅笔没有线，有
It's very simple. Do you have a pencil and a thread?
手拿着线，
And then I hold the
它
thread,
就开始做自己
and
动
just
了
by chanting, it would move by itself.
自己摇，然后他会指示呢。我每一次都用这个方法。啊，这个人在山。
So I use this method, like someone went missing in the mountains. I can just take a thread or a needle and a thread or a pencil with the lead, the pointed lead at the bottom, and I would chant mantra, and then the pencil would move by itself and would move, and then where is this person, and it would point to a certain place and stop. And then when you go to that place on the map, then you would find it. You know our Buddha school, Dharma Sister Teresa, her son-in-law went camping in the mountains and got lost, went missing. And Golden Mother said after a few days he would appear, but where? The policeman just couldn't find him. To the rivers, to the mountains, everywhere. He went hiking or camping and disappeared. So I used the pencil at the Seattle Lejang Temple. And the pencil moved and then to that place. And Teresa said, not possible, because we've searched there several times. And I said, within these few days, look again, search again, and we'll find him this few days. And sure enough, at that spot, he was found. His body was discovered there. That's a true story. Even a pencil has spirit on it. Let alone if you sculpt the Monkey King, and then if you pray to it every day, it would become a deity. There would be a deity in it. It's a very simple principle. So you can try and just sculpt something out of mud, and it would become a deity, and it would come to your home at night. It would come to you. So the Monkey King is a fictional character from the novel Journey to the West, but why some people in the community worship? But he lastly became a Buddha called the winner of the battles Buddha. And the precept pig or pixie became a god that's called clearing the altar envoy, because he ate all the offerings on the shrine. And Sandy, he was general from the Celestial River, so he returned there. These were all fictional. Of course, the monk Tang San Zhang existed, but the Journey to the West was fictional. But of course, he could also become a god. And the prince, dragon prince, that became a horse, then of course he could become a god too. In Taiwan, there is a specific deity worshipping horse, Ma Xing Gong, in Taichung. And in the Investitude of the Gods, or Legend of the Gods, even more.
赵公明差一点成仙呢。
Like Zhao Gongming
他在仙洞里面呢，在
almost become a sage.
师父讲说，这一段时间你不要给我出去。
And he was chanting the sutras in the cave, Huang Ting Jing. But the master said,
你都不要去吵。
just don't worry about anything outside, don't get involved, just daily chant this Huang Ting Jing.
听他师父的话。
Otherwise, it will be very dangerous. So he listened to the guru, staying in the cave, but several of his younger sisters
妹妹输了，
were fighting,
给赵公明。
and the younger sisters lost, and
听师父的话，还
complaining
都到了。
complaining to him and asking,
赵公明到最后
wanted some help. Zhao Gongming.
忍不住了，
And he at first he said, no, I don't want to go anyway because my guru instructed me, but he could not stand
红水
that.
榜里面有名。
Finally, he succumbed and left and got killed. So he became a fortune god.
红水榜的主角是姜子牙，
Otherwise,
是
he
我们
would
儒
be.
家的祖先呢。
So the investiture of gods, or creation of the gods, the primary, the key actor is Jiang Ziya. Jiang Ziya, which is our ancestor, because the last name Lu came from Jiang. He was a great diviner, divination,
文王托
and also King Wen. King Wen was also very good with divination,
钓鱼，
with the 8 trigrams, and in the 800 years.
因为他离
So
水
Jiang Ziya was fishing,
如何钓到鱼？
but yet the bait was 3 inches above the water. How could you catch any fish? And the king was also curious. What kind of fish do you catch? And then he said, I catch emperor, the king,
皇帝啊，我钓的是皇
the
帝。
king Wen of Zhou.
那到最后，文王
And lastly,
请他当，
King Wen
所以文王
recognized him and asked him to become prime minister.
请我去当宰相，我要坐在车上。
You want me to become the prime minister? Then I would ride on the cart and you pull the cart for me. So the
坐
king
的是姜子牙，
pulled the cart,
左
and above
800。
Jiang Ziya was seated on the chariot.
先讲一下，
So he
880步，他说拉
walked
不动，
880 steps. And he said, oh, I couldn't continue and
上
stopped.
场
And Jiang Ziya shouted
刚好是880。
that the Zhou dynasty would last 880 years then.
很准的，
Exactly. Very accurate.
姜子牙是很准的，姜子牙
Jiang Ziya was very accurate
还要高明。
divination,
这里有一
even better than the King Wen of Zhou
姜子牙
dynasty.
在街上算命，
There was a story. Jiang Ziya was doing divination,
砍他踩下来，
and there was a very strong man and cutting the woods,
我哪会杀人？
and then walk
对不对？
to in front of Jiang Ziya. And Jiang Ziya said, you will kill someone later. And he said, no, I'm very kind. I would never kill anybody. So this fortune teller is lying.
走了没几步，有一队
But-
兵马经过，
But after a few steps, there were chariots and horses.
吓到了，
And so they surprised each other.
旋转，
So the
旋
fireworks
转，他打死一个
turn
人。
and killed someone.
那这么巧，他挑柴
What a
到
coincidence.
城里去卖，
So he was carrying the firewoods to sell, right?
那个
And because the horse was shocked and he was also shocked,
撞到一个人的头，
so the pole
下来就死了。
revolved and then hit a person who died. And then King Zhou, King Wen saw that, and he drew a circle on the ground and to let him stay inside it as like a boundary. And then you will not be able to run away because of the trigram divination. The patriarchs of the 8 trigrams, Fu Si, Wen Wang Zhou Gong, they were all very accurate. So divination of the King Wen of Zhou was very accurate. So I would know wherever you are. By doing divination, I would know. So the woodcarver did not dare to move. When Jiang Ziya saw that, he said, I know you would become a general in the future, so now I'll let you escape. So he drew something on his hand. It's like a paper, a human form in paper, which is like the replacement life. And then you run to the cliff and then throw that paper human into the cliff. So the woodcarver followed Jiang Ziya's instruction. He left the circle, went in deep into the mountains, and threw away that paper human into the cliff, and then he went back to the mountains to cut more woods. And when the king returned, the criminal ran away. And then he did a divination, and what he got was that that person had jumped off the cliff and died. So that's called the practice of replacing life, or body replacement practice. Was that a good story? So that's called the body replacement practice. So it doesn't matter how great divination the king could do. What he discovered was that the woodcarver jumped off the cliff and committed suicide. But actually, it was just the paper cutting that was a body substitute. So that's called the Feng Seng Bang, or the creation of the gods, a novel written by Lu Xixing. And all the characters inside are gods. So there are gods in the journey of the West, but there are even more gods, more godly gods in the creation of the gods. If you treat them as gods, then they become gods. But of course, it could be ghosts that go inside or that attach to the body. Taipei, what chapter? Lian Sheng chapter. So she's being attached by a spirit too. Ask the spirit to say something for us. Please stand up.
师尊好，巴嘎萨那的摩多娑那嘎达萨，佩德塞那个摩多娑那个德塞，帕达萨那个摩多伊德塞那个摩多萨那达塞。
好。
Okay.
讲得很好。
You spoke well.
他都不知道他在讲什么。
She doesn't even know what she's saying.
叫他翻译。
Don't ask her to translate. She doesn't even know what she's saying.
那一个人在讲。
Because it's that person inside her who was speaking, not her.
你可以把它 叫他坐在那里当神来拜。
You can ask her to sit there and then pray to her as a god,
你拜不是拜
as a
他，
deity,
就他
as a god.
他身体
So you're not praying to her, but to the God inside her body.
他身上就有神了。
So inside her, there's a God.
那不要说一般的那个像了，
So
像里面都有父人。
like all the statues or images
像我们
have deities
就有好几
inside or attached to it. Like our Mahabala have several gods in
像我
him.
们这个韦陀尊者，
Or
最
the
后成
Skanda,
就是罗
the
祖
Venerable Skanda,
就前来
ultimately become a Buddha,
地经啊，
Lord Dojo
上
Buddha,
日里面的
and Sangarama. He was a character in the three kingdoms,
关于
and such a person did exist, Guan Gong, Guan Yin Zhang.
他就有神了。
So if you pray to him, then there would be deity in it.
他最后他被人家砍下头啊，
Lastly,
最后被人家
Guan Yin Zhang had his head cut off.
被一个和尚看到了，
He was in God,
就是前
and then invited him to become a protector god, and that's Sangarama. Now, do you understand?
很好玩啊。
That was fun,
世
right?
界上的事情是很好玩的，
So things in the
身
world
上就有灵，
very fun, they're very
可以把它
interesting.
当神来拜啊。
So just point to anyone and they have a spirit inside her, and she can sit here and then you can use incense and pray to her and she would speak more. 这个空无相无作无起已经讲过了， So we have talked about emptiness,
应众生
non-phenomena,
而转法轮。
non-action, and
告诉你，
non-arising or non-beginning.
你只要得到了，
It can enable sentient beings to be seated on a spiritual center. So if you have obtained the truly highest Dharma, then you can teach sentient
现
being
在啊，师尊
to
就
be
是坐在
seated on a spiritual center and turn the Dharma wheel. Like Grandmaster now
啊去
is seated on a spiritual center and to turn the Dharma wheel for sentient beings.
你知道，
And to let
这
sentient
就
beings
是
turn
这
the
个
Dharma
最
wheel.
好的。诸天龙神
And this is the
三大
best.
罗等所供亲遇，所有的天龙八部，包括
It is praised by heavenly beings, dragons, Gandharvas, and more. What are Gandharvas?
三达
Are gods of musicians, musician gods. Yeah.
天龙八部之一啊，
It's one of the 8 divisions of heavenly and dragon
龙
beings.
神，还有天龙八
So praised by heavenly beings, dragons, Gandharvas, or gods of music,
这个
and more.
赞叹，都会赞叹这个转法轮，
They would praise
令众
the
生入佛法，
turning of the Dharma wheel.
摄诸圣贤这一切之佛。
It guides sentient beings into the Dharma treasure of the Buddhas
法供养最高的法，
and gathering the wisdom of the sages and saints.
最高的法，能
Offering of the highest kind of Dharma
佛法的实相，
can
总摄所有佛法的相，
collect
跟
all
所有圣贤的
the phenomena of Buddha Dharma and the wisdom of all the sages such as Buddhas, Bodhisattvas,
所有
Arhats,
圣贤的一切的
and
智慧
all the
都
sages.
在了义里面，
their wisdom are inside this ultimate sutras, ultimate teachings, the highest kind of Buddha Dharma.
说众菩萨所行之道，里面所说，
And elucidating the path of Bodhisattva conduct.
他在行道的过程，
So it talks about the spiritual journey of all the bodhisattvas. It explains the ultimate truth of all phenomena. So that's the true seal of
是实相，
the only ultimate reality,
而不是
the true Buddha Dharma. It's about the ultimate truth, the true reality,
四维八德、礼义廉
and
耻、
it's not the
孝仁爱
non-ultimate.
心义和平。
Like about the 8 virtues and the 4,
礼义廉耻、
those are mundane dharma,
义和平，
loyalty, filial,
那个
benevolence, integrity,
世
peace,
间的法，世间
and more, are considered worldly dharma.
那只有呢，这个第一法了义法，它是
Only
实
the
相应，
ultimate dharma
真正的实相。
is the true phenomena, the true reality.
常处
So
空我即灭之法，
the ultimate truth of all phenomena, proclaiming the teachings of impermanence, suffering, emptiness, selflessness, and the stillness of nirvana.
没有。
So
昨天
it talks about impermanence. Nothing is permanent.
就不是常
Like
态。
about my look or appearance that I showed last night. It's not
将来我如
permanent.
果病了，
Or the way I look now is also
在
not
医院里面，
permanent. In the future, if
那
I
也不是这样子的相，
were to be sick,
还有精神
lying on the sick bed in hospital, the way I look then would not like
声
now.
音呢，
I
讲话
probably
很
have
低啊，
my
很
voice,
严重了，怎么能？
because if it's severe illness, how can you speak so much? Even
相貌也整个都变。
maybe very low voice or the way I look would be very different.
所以啊，是无常。
Therefore, it is impermanence, it is suffering.
你说哪个不苦啊？我们现在的
Is
众生哪
who has no suffering?
哪一个人每天很快乐的？
Is there one that's always happy every day with no
烦恼的举手，
worries or afflictions whatsoever? And I often ask those who have no afflictions at all, raise your hand. But nobody does.
完全都没有烦恼的举手。
Those completely free from affliction, please raise your hand. Let me see, because you're a sage
你是神呢，
and you're God.
神仙呢，神仙才没有烦恼啊。
Only sages have no afflictions. Humans have afflictions.
苦，
Suffering.
释迦牟尼佛每一次在说法以前都要讲苦的，
Sakyamuni Buddha, prior to every Dharma teaching, would always talk about suffering. And only due to suffering you cultivate spiritually.
到最后
And it also talks about emptiness. At the end, you owe nothing. You own nothing.
你走了都没有了啦。
You think you have
儿
children?
子女儿说不定也跑了。
If you're gone, you don't have them anymore. Perhaps they have run away even. That's emptiness.
无我，
And no self.
以后
Now
不存在
you
了。
exist, but in the future you won't. You only exist for a period of time, but after a time you wouldn't exist
昨天
anymore.
讲琼瑶，
I talked about Chongyao last night,
对不对？
right?
琼瑶也住过成都诶，
Chongyao had lived in Chengdu as well.
上面写琼瑶小的时候也住过成都诶。
When Chongyao was little, she lived in Chengdu. What's going on? All about Chengdu.
它那一段时间是存在的，现在已经没有。
So they exist within that period of time, but now it's gone. So that's no self and extinction and stillness, no more.
你知道吗？我去台北龙山寺，那时候是
You know how famous Chongyao was? I went to Longshan Si, and that was the Lantern Festival.
开那个灯谜啊。
So we played guessing the riddles. There was a lantern.
那个时候
That was back then.
其实这个人也不知道还在不在，我搞不清楚。
I don't know if this person's still alive.
崔台青的屁股。
Cui Tai-chin, the behind of Cui Tai-chin.
打一个作家的名字。
Say an author's name. That's Chongyao. Yeah,
龙
this
山
is...
寺的那个灯谜呀。
So the lantern
猜一个作家的名字，
riddle
实在是想不
at
出
the
来。
Longshan Temple.
终于想到了，哦，原来是崔台青的屁股琼瑶。
Yeah, this is a riddle in Chinese.
六合木。
And at the Mount Fuji,
富士山的六合木。
Liu Heng,
遇到崔台青，
and I saw Cui Tai-chin.
我跟他讲，崔台青的屁股。
And I told her,
他说那是龙山寺的搞鬼。
and
那时候遇到崔台青，那时候碰到
and
崔台青
he said that's just a riddle. Cui Tai-chin was also very famous,
很久了哈，
but we haven't seen her for a long time.
所以崔台青1951年出生，
Cui
他
Tai-chin
现在几岁？
was born in
74了。
1951.
哦，应该还在了。那我遇到崔台青
Cui Tai-chin.
啊，琼瑶是成都出生的，
Chongyao was born in Chengdu.
很好的。师母的看护也是成都，
The caretaker of Simu also came
我们
from
的弟子
Simu.
那个定也是在成都，还有
And
叶也是在成都。
Ding was in Chengdu, Ye was also in Chengdu, and another one in Chengdu.
这么多成都的，
There are so many Chengdu, many Buddha school disciples there in Chengdu.
在那阴雨的小城，我从来没有
In that cloudy and drizzly small town, I've never forgotten
带不走的。
Chengdu, which we can't take away.
师母也去过成都啊，
And Simu has
因为
visited
成都，
Chengdu.
在沟，要经过成都的。
She went to Jiuzhaigou and passed by Chengdu as well.
你看嘛，现在呢，极灭最后的一
So
条路就是极灭，
now
讲的
extinction
是
and stillness
悟空
is the last way, last
从小
path.
现在就是极灭。
So it teaches impermanence, suffering, emptiness, no self, and extinction
以后
and
一样啊，如是
stillness. Chongyao
极灭以后就不会再有如是尊。
the same. When Grandmaster Lu
有法
extinct,
身还在，
then there would not be any more Grandmaster Lu. But Grandmaster Lu has Dharma bodies
身
existing, not the physical body. The physical body will disappear.
我们常常讲佛经
So this is something that we often talk about: impermanence, suffering, emptiness, no self,
这个法
and
真实的法，
extinction. And this kind of Dharma is the true, the ultimate truth.
以前我
Is
年轻的时候，我看过
the only true reality. Nothing
还是
will maintain the youthfulness.
跑去一看，天哪！
A beautiful lady that I knew, young, and I was thinking that she would still be beautiful,
鬼，
but then when I look closely, she's become a ghost. It's very easy
超人
for a beautiful woman to become a ghost because time never lets
我也不会饶过你的，
lets you go,
一下子
let
就变了。
make it easy for you.
所以是无常、苦、
So you change very fast.
寂灭，
Therefore, it's impermanence, suffering, emptiness, no self, and extinction. Only these are the ultimate truth
能救一切
or true reality.
众生。这个一时相应呢，这种法能够救犯戒的众生，
So this ultimate truth,
他也能够救。
this kind of Dharma can rescue all beings who have violated
让
precepts,
所有的魔
can deter demons, heretics,
贪
and
嗔
those entangled in
都
attachment,
觉得很苦，
greed, anger, and delusion,
诸佛
and inspires fear in them.
正赞
It is universally praised by all Buddhas and sages. All the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Arhats, Pratyeka
都
Buddhas,
是赞叹
and
相
sages
应的法。
would praise
这一生是
this ultimate Dharma
谈的，
as it abandons the suffering of birth and death and reveals the bliss of nirvana.
显现出涅槃的快乐，
So,
寂灭的快乐。
so that's the bliss of nirvana or the bliss of extinction.
十方
is
诸
revealed.
佛所说，
It embodies the teachings of the Buddhas of the three times in the 10
就
directions.
是讲这一种经典。
So all the Buddhas of the three times in the 10 directions talk about this kind of sutras.
所有的佛都是讲这种经典。
All the Buddhas teach this kind of sutras.
真的想一想，
Really thinking about it,
无常、
think about it. Impermanence, suffering, emptiness,
无我、
no self,
寂灭，
and nirvana.
都是事实，
These are reality.
全部都是事实。你不
All of those are realities. You must believe it.
这人生很苦，
Human life is really a suffering.
到最后走到最后都是空。
And at the end, you walk to the end
琼
and
瑶
there is nothing left. It's all emptiness. Like for Chung Yao,
没有，他的爱情
her money, her billions gone.
没有，
Her love gone.
他的名望
Her fame
消失了，
is disappearing.
财、色、名
Wealth, sensual pleasures, fame,
都没有。
food and sleep are all gone.
要进入寂灭，
Entering into serenity and
到
extinction.
西方的净土，
If someone can guide her to go to the Western Pure Land,
他就是寂灭为乐，
then she would have the bliss of nirvana.
一切都是没有。
Then extinction and serenity is blissful. Everything else is gone.
积极财宝，
Therefore, accumulating wealth,
一样，
just like clouds,
一下子消失的。
it's
生命
there you see it,
断，
you don't see it, it's gone. For life, only for a period of time and then
感情
gone. And then
去
love,
的也快。
it comes fast, it goes fast too.
然后呢，这个名位
And then fame,
最惨的就是连传上师讲的，小民如果不乖，
the verses
给你
like
送到
Master Lian Chuan said, if Xiaoming is not obedient, we'll send him to Korea to become a president.
总统是
Look
最高的名位耶，
Presidents have the highest
你看
kind of
国
fame,
际官
and yet the presidents are being imprisoned.
他的名，他的位置呢？总统的位置呢？
So how about the status of the president is gone, and the name,
也等于泡沫了。
it's like a bubble bursting.
韩国总统怎么那么倒霉？
Why are Korean
一
presidents
个总统，卢泰愚、
very
卢武铉，对不对？
very unfortunate?
就是我们
There were two presidents there with the family named Lu.
焕阳出来了，
All came from
韩国
Hwanyang.
的总统卢泰愚、卢武铉，
You didn't know, right? They
都
were
是我们
Korean presidents, Lu Tai-yi, Lu Huyen,
北京旁边的焕阳，
who came from the Lu clan from Hwanyang in Hebei province next to Beijing.
福建焕阳，
So the Hwanyang in Hebei province goes to Hwanyang in the Fujian province and then
卢武铉跟卢
to Taiwan.
两个总统，韩国的两个总统都是卢家的。但是他们两个
But
人
two of the Korean presidents were from the Lu clan, and one of them
一个总统好像
killed himself,
跳海
I
自
think
杀吧，
jumped into the
另
ocean,
外一个是好像是
and the other one was
卢泰愚
prosecuted.
跟卢武铉，
Lu Tai-yi and Lu Xian and Lu Xian,
韩国总统。那个
Korean
名望啊
presidents.
最
So
高的
those are
名望韩国
named
总统还有比
fame and
还有
name
更高的吗？没有啦，
as the highest. Being a president, is there anything higher than that?
吹泡泡。
So really, just like blowing on the soap bubbles.
现在的韩国总统现在还被关着呢。
And the recent Korean president is still in prison.
送到上
So if you're not obedient, we'll just send you to Korea to become a president there.
这真的是笑话，真的是。
That's a real joke.
当总统还要
So
被关，
what is fame and name is worth? You've become a president and yet you're still in prison. So who would want to be a president? That's the curse of the presidential palace there.
讲个笑话吧。有
Let
一
me
次我喝醉了，误入
tell a
女厕
joke.
所，一个女生大声的尖叫，
I was drunk and entered
一下子就
into
醒了，一
a ladies' bathroom,
就哭。
and then a woman
全世界上的人都觉得
shriek.
我长得像个男的。
And then I said,
那个女生
"Oh, I don't want to continue living." Everybody said that I look like a man. And then that woman apologized, and then now she's my wife. That's a joke. That's the
那
curse
个
of
小
the
明对他的
Buddhas.
朋友讲，怎么办呢、
Xiaoming told his
带
friend,
回家的女朋友，我妈妈
"Oh, what should I do? All the girlfriend I brought home was despised by my mom. And the friend said, that's easy.
条件都跟你妈的一样。
You should find a girl that is just like your mom,
讲
that it would work. I've tried that.
我爸不喜欢了。
Then it's my dad that doesn't like her.
我们来等一下。
Oh, money, baby, home.
非常感谢法王。